Warriors fans, we need to have a real conversation tonight. This is not just another game. This is not just another playoff matchup. Tonight, back home, down 2-1 against the Timberwolves, we are facing a situation that could define the entire season. And the question is simple. Is this a must-win game? And the answer, honestly, feels like an obvious yes. Because no matter how much faith we have in this team, imagining a scenario where the Warriors come back from a 3-1 deficit without Steph Curry feels unrealistic. Yes, miracles happen in sports, but counting on one when your superstar is sidelined with an injury, that's playing with fire, especially when we're up against a Wolves team that's hungry, talented, and has figured out how to make life miserable for us. Let's be clear. Even if Steph does manage to return, it's going to be with limited mobility. He's dealing with a muscle strain, not something that disappears overnight. Reports have said it's a grade 1 strain, which typically takes about a week for recovery. We're 6 days into that timeline, but he's not game ready. He tried to get some work in before Game 3, did some light shooting, rode the bike, but it's obvious he's not there yet. So expecting him to be a factor in Game 5, that's a stretch. Realistically, his first serious shot to get back on the court would be in Game 6. But here's the catch. We have to get there first. And that means tonight's Game 4 becomes non-negotiable. If we lose this one, going back to Minnesota for a do-or-die Game 5 without Steph feels like setting ourselves up for elimination. Let's not forget how Game 1 went. We stole that one, and Steph only played about a quarter and a half. But since then, the Wolves have adjusted. They've watched the film, figured out how to attack us when Steph's not on the floor, and made the necessary changes. Playing extended minutes without him is exposing the cracks in our armor. This is why bringing in Jimmy Butler was supposed to be a game changer. The idea was to have another reliable scorer who could carry the load when Steph needed rest, or in cases like this, when injuries keep him sidelined. Over the years, we've seen how tough it is for the Warriors to function at a high level without Curry orchestrating everything. Butler was meant to be the solution to that problem. And credit where it's due, Jimmy has stepped up. He's logging over 40 minutes, putting up points, organizing the offense, doing what leaders do. But the truth is, asking him to carry this team alone is asking too much. Klay Thompson, once the perfect sidekick to Steph, isn't delivering at the same level anymore. His scoring is inconsistent, his defense is a step slower, and the spark he used to bring is flickering. Other role players like BP and Buddy have had their moments, but nothing consistent enough to be a dependable second option. What this team desperately needs is another star who can step into that scoring void. Someone who commands attention, who forces defenses to react and frees up space for the rest of the team. Right now, it's Jimmy Butler against the world, and even he knows it. He's admitted that he needs his running mate on the court. Basketball is not a solo sport. One player can only do so much, no matter how talented. Without someone else to draw defensive attention, Butler is forced into difficult shots, facing double teams, and carrying a burden that no player can shoulder alone across a 7-game series. Every mistake becomes magnified. Every turnover, every missed rotation, every bad shot selection is a dagger, especially when you're operating with such a thin margin for error. This brings us to Game 3. Let's talk numbers. 15 turnovers for the Warriors. The Wolves? They had 21. On paper, that's an area we should have capitalized on, but we only managed to convert 13 points off those turnovers. That's simply not enough. Winning the turnover battle is great, but if you're not translating those opportunities into points, you're missing a crucial advantage. Defensively, we did okay. Holding Minnesota to 102 points is a respectable effort, but scoring only 97 ourselves, that's where the problem lies. Our typical scoring output is higher, and not being able to reach that level, especially in a playoff setting, exposes our lack of offensive firepower without Steph 3-point. Shooting, once our bread and butter, has not been a reliable weapon in this series. Attempts are down, efficiency is down, and while the Wolves are making it rain from deep, we're stuck in a drought. That's a recipe for disaster, especially for a team whose identity was built around spacing and shooting. The free throw line didn't offer much relief either. Both teams were about even in makes, which means we're not compensating for our shooting struggles by getting to the line more often. It all circles back to execution. Steve Kerr has emphasized this repeatedly. We're in these games. We're competing, but when it comes to closing out quarters, finishing strong, making the smart plays under pressure, we're falling short. Look at the fourth quarter of game 3. We were leading at the start. The game was within reach, but then the same issues reappeared. Stagnant offense, careless turnovers, empty possessions. A crucial player fouled out, and Minnesota's supporting cast seized the moment. Offensive rebounds, second chance points, all the little things that swing momentum, they capitalized. We didn't. What's frustrating is that the Warriors had controlled large portions of the game. At one point, we held a 6-point lead with 8 minutes to go. That's a position any coach would take heading into crunch time. But once we fell behind, the response wasn't there. The Wolves executed their plays, hit timely shots, and extended their lead. We couldn't bridge the gap despite having been in control for so long. This inconsistency is what's hurting us the most. Playoff basketball is about sustaining effort, staying mentally sharp, and avoiding those collapses. The team's inability to close out games, especially without Steph, is the glaring issue that needs immediate fixing. Heading into Game 4, Steve Kerr remains optimistic. And why wouldn't he? As a coach, you have to project confidence. But the reality is that some adjustments are necessary. There might be changes to the starting lineup, perhaps to address defensive mismatches or to inject more energy. Some players who haven't seen significant minutes might get their shot. Someone like Moses Moody, for instance, could provide a spark off the bench. There's also the possibility of giving more ball handling responsibilities to other players, even if their shooting isn't elite, just to diversify the offense and reduce turnovers. Another aspect that can't be ignored is minutes management. Certain players are logging heavy minutes, north of 40 per game. Fatigue becomes a real factor, especially in back-to-back high-intensity games. Finding ways to keep legs fresh while maintaining competitiveness is a balancing act that Kerr and his staff have to navigate. It's tricky because you need your best players on the court, but you also can't afford to have them gassed in the final stretch. Looking ahead, the challenge is monumental. We've seen this team pull off comebacks before. We've seen them defy odds, overcome injuries, and silence doubters. But each series is different. Each opponent presents unique challenges. The Timberwolves are not going to beat themselves. They're disciplined, well-coached, and have players like Anthony Edwards who can take over games. Combined with contributors like Gobert and Julius, they form a core that's clicking at the right time. For the Warriors, the formula is clear, but execution has been lacking. Limit turnovers, improve three-point shooting, convert points off turnovers, and find a way to share the scoring load beyond just Butler. None of this is revolutionary, but implementing it without your franchise player is where the difficulty lies. The margin for error is razor thin. Every possession counts. Every defensive rotation matters. We're talking about playoff basketball where momentum swings are brutal and every missed opportunity can snowball. Game 4 isn't just another date on the schedule. It's a battle for survival. Losing tonight doesn't mathematically eliminate the Warriors, but it would put them on life support. Going back to Minnesota down 3-1 with Curry's status uncertain would be a nearly insurmountable challenge. Yes, we've seen teams come back from such deficits. We've even done it ourselves. But relying on past miracles isn't a strategy. The current situation demands urgency, precision, and collective effort. This is the time for the team's character to shine through. The time for the veterans to dig deep, for the role players to step up, and for the coaching staff to find solutions. And let's not forget, playoff series are emotional roller coasters. One win can shift the entire narrative. But to get that win, the Warriors must address the glaring issues that have plagued them in this matchup. It's about cleaning up the small details, staying focused, and executing when it matters most. Tonight's game will tell us everything we need to know about this team's resilience. The road ahead is steep, but it's not impossible. The fight continues, but it has to start now. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. In a bizarre turn of events that has captivated both sports fans and historians alike, a rumor has surfaced claiming that a video has been discovered featuring none other than Pope Leo XIV discussing the Golden State Warriors, one of the most dominant teams in NBA history. The video, which allegedly dates back several decades, has sparked widespread intrigue and disbelief. While the story is still unverified, the potential connection between a historical religious figure and modern-day basketball is certainly too unusual to ignore. According to sources, the footage was reportedly found among a collection of old archives in Vatican City, hidden away in the depths of the Holy See's vaults. The video supposedly shows Pope Leo XIV, a well-known figure in the 19th century, speaking about the Warriors and their remarkable athleticism. At first glance, this claim seems more fitting for a work of fiction than for historical fact, but the story has been gaining traction with many who are eager to uncover the truth behind the strange discovery. The Pope, who reigned from 1850 to 1878, would, of course, have had no way of knowing about the Golden State Warriors, a team founded in 1946 and whose rise to prominence began much later. However, the rumor suggests that the video may be an elaborate piece of historical fiction created as part of an artistic or theatrical project, which was somehow mistakenly archived as a genuine artifact. The Vatican, which holds one of the largest collections of ancient documents and art in the world, has yet to comment on the matter, further fueling the speculation. While many have dismissed the idea as a hoax or an elaborate internet prank, others are looking for deeper meanings in the potential connection between Pope Leo XIV and the Warriors. Some have even suggested that the footage might have been created by individuals seeking to draw a parallel between the Pope's religious leadership and the Warriors' dominance in the basketball world. Regardless of the true nature of the video, the discovery has raised interesting questions about how history, pop culture, and modern sports intersect. If the video turns out to be genuine, it would represent an extraordinary historical anomaly, blending the worlds of 19th century Vatican politics and 21st century basketball excellence. In the meantime, speculation continues to grow, with fans of both the Golden State Warriors and Vatican history eagerly awaiting official confirmation or clarification. Whether the video turns out to be a hoax or an actual artifact remains to be seen. But one thing is for certain, the intrigue surrounding this bizarre rumor shows no signs of waning. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.